So I guess when someone comes into your practice for the first time, I always was curious about this. What what is your like initial reaction, or like what are your initial thoughts like when someone just walks through the door? Like what do you what is like a therapist think of like a new client? Are they just like, oh, we'll see what happens, or are they like already analyzing things as they walk in the door and as they sit down? Like, oh, he walks like this, maybe this is a problem. Like, does that happen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. We're just
Yeah.
analyzing every effing thing that
Oh,
you're doing.
he's moving his left finger. That means,
It's the fuel, the fuel sweatshirt.
yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
actually, with the analysts, everything is up for analysis. So
Sure.
when I was practicing with the analysts, there you're looking at lots of things. Are they late?
Yeah.
How do they arrive? What's happening in their presentation? I like to see where people sit, so
Okay.
I kind of see like, well, sit wherever you want.
Yeah.
Some people like the chair, some people like the couch. So it's
Yeah, that is
interesting.
interesting though. So like, what if someone sat down on a couch rather than the chair? What would you think? What would you think about them? Is it based on like the space of where you are compared to them? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean,
about?
it can mean so many
Yeah.
different things. I always think it's interesting because in my office we have a small couch and then a chair.
Yeah.
And typically I think most people would assume that the couch is for the client, because I think that's
Yeah.
sort of in cultural, like in the
Yeah.
movies or whatever.
I've had someone that like I've gone to a therapist before, and they're like, "That's my chair, just so you know," as if I was gonna sit over by her desk. You know, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there. Like, I'm not gonna sit. I'll start typing away at your computer. Oh, I got work to do.
That's so she's being very territorial, right? Like that's,
Yeah, I sit there. All right, I won't. Then. I'll make sure I won't.
And I think when people choose the chair that I assume people think is my chair sometimes,
yeah.
I think sometimes it's a power play
Yeah,
with some people. Other people, I think it's much more actually a literal,
like they don't know where to sit, and they're like kind of anxious about it.
yeah, and it's more, the chair's more contained.
Oh, okay.
It's a, oh, how do you describe it? Well, when you sit in a chair, you feel more contained than
Sure,
the openness
sure, yeah.
of a couch.
Yeah.
And I've had people then later ask about that, like, wait, I think maybe I wasn't supposed to sit here. And I'd be like, well, but do you have an idea of why
Yeah.
you chose that? And like everyone knows, you tend to choose the same place all the time. So if
Yeah.
you come in and sit in the chair, the
You're
next
not gonna
time,
change it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not. Next time, most of the
Go
time,
back and forth.
I think it's a rare time when people are like, oh, no, I'm sitting here versus there.
Yeah. Because in that situation, I was just thinking about where I would sit. I would sit for sure on the couch for sure every time.
It's interesting with couples therapy because the way that our office is configured, the couch is more like a love seat. So it's
Okay, so
kind
it's
of
a little
close
bit smaller.
together. And then there's a chair, and then there's a more of a side chair I can pull up.
Okay.
So it's always interesting when couples come in right away and they totally one sits in the
separately?
chair, one sits in, and
Like,
I'm like,
oh.
I'm not sitting on the couch with whoever. So I pull up the other chair. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
All right.
this is an interesting. This is
Interesting
not a lot of
situation.
togetherness going on here.
Yeah.